Feminine, but I give you what you want. Feminine, but I give you what you want. Feminine, what you want. Feminine, but I give you what you want. I took 2 pearls and I can't have the blood back up, cause now I feel fine.
My name is Pucci. I'm mother of the house of Pucci. My first ballroom experience, I met TKO at the queer basketball tournament, and I told him I wanted the gay boys to teach me how to dance. And we exchanged numbers, and he invited me to one of the earlier balls where it was in DLM Studios. And I went. He told me prepare to walk just in case. I got there. I didn't want to walk that first one, so I was just a spectator, and I loved it. I loved the burgers right off the quite a bit of balls, but I'm like, nope, I don't like to lose, so I'm just gonna keep going until I win. And I finally got to winning, and then I finally became face of the year last year, which was good. I loved it. I'm so happy.
SlimThick Monroe. Wouldn't you like to know? My first actual category that I wanted to learn and started walking was virgin vault. I still flare my hands and do all this stuff, but I just didn't feel as strong as I did in Sex Siren. I first started off doing Sex Siren because technically I was the only big girl.
I was very fortunate to find it only because it was always my place to get away. I find when I'm getting stressed with school, getting stressed with work, or getting stressed with not fitting in the hetero world, I find that being at the balls or being in the ballroom scene, I can be myself and I feel like I'm being judged. So I think that's one of the reasons why I stuck around, and I always made sure I participated and I was a part of it. And yeah, and you get to wear dresses and twirl, feel like a fairy, and dance. Yes. And do whatever you want.
Idea, as much as it was a lot of people were voguing at the time, a lot of people were in the ballroom scene, but it was, if you weren't on Monroe, you were 007, and the 007s, it wasn't like they were together, they were just spread out and sprawled out and whatnot. So the Kiki scene kind of allowed a different vibe, and it kind of kicked off something different, kicked off a way to compete without feeling a type of way that you're it was only against Monroe.
This is Banji.
Yes, it's ready.
You better fall.
So I go to the practice now, and I'm in the room, and a ball was coming up. This is the Kiki scene. Don't know nothing about the Kiki scene, nothing, never heard of it, never nothing. So I'm like, okay, what is it? And then the father of the house at the time was Kash. So he was like, what can you do? And I was like, I can dance. And he was like, well, let me see a little something. And I'm like, what category is it? He was like, sex art. And I was like, oh, sex art, I can do that. So I just literally, they put on a beat and I started dancing. And he was like, yes, 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 you're in the house. You're in the house.
When I first started, I mean, every ball that I went to, was shut down early for some kind of discrepancy or there's somebody yelling. So for me, it looked like a negative environment. It was very hard for me to go into a situation where everyone, one, is very free to express who they are, and they're very passionate about their beliefs and their views on the ballroom. And for me, it just seemed very scary as a newcomer and coming from where I come from. It was very scary. But after going and spectating more and more, I realized that they're not fighting. They're more sort of stressing their points and their beliefs and what they view as a chop or what's good, what's bad, or whatever the case might be. That's where I think I had the first misunderstanding. But there'll always be disagreements in any situation. If you're at work, there's always someone you don't like, someone that doesn't like you. There's cattiness. That's just the way that life works.
The competition factor of it died down because people's feelings got hurt. Plain and simple. I think people's feelings got hurt, their egos got bruised, and they got upset. And my thing is, if you think you have talent and you have a point to prove, then walk.
When I kept losing against Venus. Oh, yeah. No, I'd go home, cry. I'd not go to practice. I'm like, I'm not coming to practice today. And then I'd end up going. And I'm like, well, I'm here, but I'm not practicing. And I ended up practicing because I knew that's what would help me. But I cried. I actually did. So when I won, it was great.
People do get emotional about the losses, but they get emotional in the wrong way. They're not getting emotional like, okay, I'm going to use this as fuel to fuck the bitch up in the next battle. It's, I'm mad. Exactly. You're carrying, I'm mad. I'm not coming to the next ball because it's a Judy panel and there's a girlfriend panel and the panel doesn't know what they're talking about. Even when the panel is picked properly, all of a sudden the panel doesn't know what they're talking about. The panel doesn't know what they're doing. Exactly. So people.
Is it always properly? It's a big issue.
Yeah, but then you take
That's the big
that
issue.
with the person that picked the panel.
Absolutely, but
not the panel.
Yeah, I heard like through the grapevine, like it was like, for example, there'll be a Monroe ball. It wasn't a Monroe ball, but Monroe was putting on the ball, and then 007s would walk.
And the Monroe's walk.
Even though it wasn't a Monroe ball, it was still biased nonetheless. What they did was, they would have one Monroe hold the ball and have everybody walk. But I guess people felt like it was biased that Monroes were walking, because they're gonna give it to the Monroes. That's what they felt, and I'm just like, I suppose, but that would be the case. But the case is, if you're better than the Monroe, then you're gonna beat the Monroe.
So if Monroes win, that's just because we're that fat.
No,
If
because
I have lost a Monroe girlfriend vote.
the day you walked in, we voted over you at 120. It was a big thing, and I was like, kick her out of the house. She voted over you.
That wasn't my category.
Because in Monroe, you're always supposed to vote for
that wasn't my category.
Even if they're horrible.
No,
Because that wasn't my category. That
so
was
let's
face.
bring it back to
I
where
did not walk
you
face.
said that
But I was talking about big girl face.
they're discouraged when they see the panel. They shouldn't be discouraged.
You shouldn't be.
No, people now need to just change their mentality and how they approach.
When I walked with Stacy, that was a Stacy majority vote panel. There was hype all around Stacy. I just came in here, there was a hype around me. Lady Ice, you need to battle Cherry and Stacy. This battle was like inevitable. It happened. When I got there, you watched the clips, not tooting my own horn, but I beat Stacy. Somebody came back to me, a pink lady came back and apologized to me at a house party and was like, oh my god, I voted for her because I didn't want pussy in my face. Because mind you, there was two people. There's Angel and there was a pink lady. I don't know his name. Right? That's the two that was like, oh, I don't want pussy in my face. But why are you on the panel? You know you're going to be judging certain categories. Be fair. If I'm walking sex and I'm selling sex and I want you to have sex with me, I will put my pussy in your face because that's sex. I'm going to put my ass in your face. I'm going to jiggle it. I'm going to shake my tits. Okay, fine. Jump to the Monroe ball. No disrespect. But I sat...
5 bitches back to back.
No, 2 Monroes. Already going into a Monroe ball and thinking that I wasn't going to make it because of whatever. But I still went with wholeheartedly. So I love you, Father, but I don't agree with your point with looking at the panel initially and being like, okay, well, I'm already going to go in as a
Yeah, so I personally think people just need to change their mentality. There's times I go and I'm like, shit, Vanessa is going to win. But I'm still going to walk because I can improve. And if she wins, by chance, because there's always a probability that she can lose. So if she happens to win, I'm going to learn from that. So I need to apply my loss and get better from that. So people just need to change their mentalities. And that's, I think, yeah. And sometimes I'm like, I know I look better, but they didn't see, that's their problem. With my family, we don't accept losing. You fight until you win. That's just it. End of story. You fall, you get back up, figure out what you have to do differently next time, and do it. It pays off. If it doesn't pay off, you just keep going. And that's just how I was raised.
Back then, there was more walkers, more people participated, and then now it's just like crickets, like just like nobody walking. And I think it was because I heard through the grapevine that people stopped walking because the same people kept winning.
And when that happened is people started feeling like it was shade. Any type of, if someone was chopped, shade. If someone won over somebody, shade. And people started feeling like there was no reason to come out. There was like, people didn't want to come out. There was no more fun.
I'm like, that's stupid. If the same people keep winning, go back and practice and make sure they don't win.
I had to learn that there's not always going to be a time when I will win. And it has happened to me already. But I make sure that it does not happen to me again. Which is why I keep going back and I keep working on what I want to win. I have not walked sex in a long time because I do not feel like I am there. But you will never catch me not walking a body category. Or a heel category. Or a best dress category. Because I know I have that in the bag.
People could take a look at themselves in the mirror and realize that they're really not as hot as they think they are. If that happened, people would start to realize that there's room for growth and there's room for getting better, and they would realize that, okay, work. So then I'm gonna work on this and I'm gonna work on this and I'm gonna come serve this bitch next time, as opposed to like, this bitch ain't worth me battling her and stuff, and really like, it's really not that hot.
Make yourself the change. Get out there and make yourself the change. Do not complain about the ball or the panel, even though I have complained about the panel, but I have legitimate reasons why to complain about the damn panel. If you put yourself out there, things will change.
And I think that's what we need to do, reach out to people. And we even still have to reach out to the people that are already in the scene. Because there's so many little cliques. I hate cliques. I'm like a social butterfly. I want to like know everybody and meet everybody. I don't just want to be like, well, we invited you, so you have to stick with us all night. Fuck you. Can I say that?
How do you say that?
Like, why are you restraining me? If I want to be restrained, I'll do that in the bedroom.
Then walk, then walk, then walk, then walk, then walk.